Here is a look at your gap and go trades for the week of August 4th through the 8th. I will go over price targets on the 5-minute time frame, have a gap recap from July 28th through August 1st, and update the chart as well. Hi everyone, it's Dow on the Dow. First up is NEO. We ended the day at 501, up 2.87%. This is where we landed. To the north side takes us to an area we've been to in the past. All those yellow lines are from 2024, but if we should get to 2 standard deviations, which would take us to roughly 516, that is a potential take profit area, as well as this level, 529, and I do not anticipate we get to 4 standard deviations, and that would be roughly 540, but if we do and we wick up to this level, you can expect people to take their profits and run. They will lock in and they will leave. Now, to the south side, takes us to the middle of the trend and the baseline, and that is roughly 492. Let me change the color to purple. Below that, at -2 standard deviations and another level of support, 469, another level of support, 458, and at -4 standard deviations, that would be 446. I do not anticipate us to get down to these levels, but if we do and we wick down here, it will get bought up. And looking left, you can see there was a clear sell signal here. This is resistance. We busted through, fell down back to support, grinding our way sideways, and then didn't quite make it up to this line. We don't always hit the line exactly, and we started to crack. And then we're just grinding along the middle of the trend here. This gap closed. This was an anticipated move that opened up on Tuesday, July 22nd. And where did we touch? Right there on the 30th. So congrats if you went short over here, because we gapped up and then we just closed it out. So that's no longer in play. That took us down to 452, and then we fell down, touched this line that acts as support as well. And this gap is still in play for the upcoming week. I have no idea when it's going to close. And then we have another gap down here, but it's not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. Just something to be aware of. And there is a gap to the north side that will take us to 559. And I think, oh yeah, there's one right here as well at 624. Not in the channel, not even close. Just something to be aware of. But we could potentially hit it. Oh, well, it's not even going out that far. So I am only just doing it by the week, and I have to flip it over to another time frame to get that. So I'll do that at some other point. So that is a gap to look forward to. And this is where we are at the end of the week. If we continue up, we could touch this level, and that is 539. And then the upper band, 562. And down here would take us back to 492. All right, the next one is, oh, let me see something. Yeah, for the week we're up 3.5%, 51%. Next up, Boeing. Option R to reset. We tanked this week because tariffs are back in play because of the deadline. So consider this an opportunity to buy in a dollar cost average. We'll put a positive spin on that because it is true though. All right, Boeing. This is where we are. End of the day at 221.90. We are at resistance. So watch for it to fall down, and we're still in a downward channel as well. But should we get above, let me fix this. I knew it looked a little wonky. Let's fix that as well. All right. Above resistance here at 2 standard deviations is another resistance level, 223.70 and 225.34, the middle of the trend. I'm going to move this over here since I use this a lot. 219.16, support 216.26, 214.70, and 213.13, and many levels of support and resistance in here as well. So turn on your Bollinger Bands, your VWAP, draw your trend lines, whatever you like to do. And looking left, you can see, oh, look at this, we wicked all the way up here, and there's no way we would stay up there. That's just like a unicorn. This is going to the moon. All right, and then we got flushed down as expected when you're up at this level. Expect to sell off here, here, and here. Neutral is this line there. So what else happened? A sell off here. This is support, a bounce. This is support, we fell through, bounced, went sideways. We opened up this gap. That is still in play, and that will take us to 225.54-ish. All right, support here, clear area of a bounce area, anticipated, and then this gap closed right here, which is where this touched. So that is done, no longer a threat to our count to the south side, 218.71-ish. Let me delete that, no longer in play. Congrats if you went short, but that took a while from here, Tuesday the 8th or 9th of July, and then we hit that on the 29th, and then we finally touched on the 1st. Play it to the north side as we go up, and then expecting a move to the south side. Don't make it complicated. What is this? Oh, this was because I drew that out and then I did not clean it up, but we touched right here on Tuesday the 29th. Congrats on that move there. That is no longer in play. And we're in a downward channel, so at the end of the week, the middle of the trend is here. The middle of the trend could end it here, or we could touch at 205.28. The lower band, 199.38, and the upper band, 211.35 is where we could also end. And we've got gaps that confirm this downward trend that might close out, but that could be in 2 weeks. But this could touch by the end of this week. This gap could touch and act as a bounce off of that. And then we have this one as well, and this one. But of course it will reverse as well. It's just not going to go straight down. It will stair step down and give you opportunities for bounces as well. And to the north side, we've got some gaps here. I'll fix that later. Let's move on to Nike. I'll go fast now. Option R, reset. Let's give you some price targets. So we are at resistance. The RSI is frothy here. We're going to be going down to go up again. So one target, 74.74 and 75.32. 73.99, the middle of the trend is now 73.13. If we make it to this level, I'll anticipate a bounce off of that. And then these levels that I drew out will also act as support and resistance levels. I know it's a lot if you have not traded or don't know the concept just yet. But if you watch enough of a gazillion videos like I have, you will figure it out. I promise. It is so easy. 72.04 to figure out technical analysis. 71.47 and 70.93. This gap touched. Oh yeah, it touched. If you make it a little larger, you can see. So that is a win for the shorts. And that started on Monday, July 21st and closed on Friday. Delete. No longer a threat to our account. There are plenty of other threats like this one and that one. Okay. And then looking left, what happened? Well, we melted. So here's resistance. When we get to this line, chop sideways, that's support, that's a bounce. This is support, and we bounced off of this line, went sideways. You can anticipate price to slice through the middle of the trend because you have to slice through it to go down from where we are, or if we go up, to slice through it to on the way up. That is the middle of the trend. And this one closed right there also on Thursday. Oh no, wait. Oh, there's that wick I messed that one up. That wicked right here and it touched. So that touched the 24th. That was later on in the day, but it touched earlier. And then look at all these gaps. Oh, and this one did touch right there on Friday to the north side at 74.34. Option R. We have a gap right. I sold some here at this line a long time ago. Then we have this gap to look forward to. But right now, moving farther away from this area. Not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. Right now, still going south. Tsly. I'm going to try to buy some of this maybe this week. I've set some buy orders that never filled because I went too low. Okay, we are at 752, down 1.44%. The middle of the trend is here at 754, 764, 769, and roughly 775. That is resistance. 743, 737, and 732, which would close out this gap, which we need to. So let me just delete that one. And then we have a gap down to 705. Okay, and what happened the previous week? Check this out. Stair stepping down, but this up here is resistance. On the way up, it turns into resistance, the middle of the trend, and on the way down, it turns into support. There was a bounce off of support here, and a bounce off of support there, and now we're just slicing through the middle of the trend. This is resistance and a sell-off down to support. What happened? Yeah. Oh, we have a little gap right here within a gap. So that touched right there on Friday. So that's done. 757. Let me turn this a different color. There we go. Okay, and I think everything else looks good. And then we have, gaps up here, but we are moving farther away from the zone of this area. $19.31 is where we ended. Oh, wow, let me see if I can move that. There we go. All right, resistance, a potential take profit area at 1950. 1966, this gap closes at roughly 1974. And don't expect price to get to this level, 1981. If it does, because of a wick, you know what's going to happen. Then we have this line. 1920 will act as support. 1889, 1874-ish, 1859. Looking left, what happened? As you can see, we stumbled. This gap, oh, we have a couple here. Let's just deal with this one first. There's my public service announcement. Drain the swamp, people.